and then do a new broadcast
Okay.
for the next episode. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello there. Thank you for listening to Hello There, a Star Wars podcast. As always, I'm Anthony Palma. I'm joined by Nate Hicks. And we got some cool stuff to talk about this week. We are talking about Galaxy's Edge merch, which Nate has been obsessing over. He won't stop messaging me about all the money he's going to waste when he goes there 5 years from now when it's not packed anymore. So
I really can't. He's telling the truth.
So once we get into it, we're going to get into it. Nate has a shopping list. He literally has like an itinerary of the things he wants to buy. So we'll maybe we'll tease how much this list could possibly be at all said and done. So we'll get there. So yeah, I mean, why don't we just kind of start off with kind of just a general overview of Galaxy's Edge as far as like the merch goes and the specialty drinks you can get there, all that kind of cool stuff. We kind of talked about it in a general sense the other week, so I don't want to get too crazy into like the actual park, but I do want to get into just the merch and the drinks and kind of the Oga's Cantina, which we need to fact check. Believe is actually like the name of the cantina from Thrawn Alliances. Pretty sure, but we'll fact check it. I could be wrong. So, and Thrawn Treason's coming out in like a month. I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
it's like a month and 2 weeks. I'm freaking out about it. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Why don't you give us a rundown on all of the highlights that you think are in Galaxy's Edge, and then we can kind of go, stop and talk about each one as we see fit.
Yeah, so the first thing that's awesome about Galaxy's Edge is from beginning to end, it is a full immersive experience. I mean, of course, there's little things like I've been watching a lot of videos, reading a lot about it, and the consensus is like it's magical until you get to certain points. Like when you do experiences, when you go to pay for them, that's when it kind of goes away a little bit. But like
credits will do fine.
Yeah, credits. Like as far as build quality, they were very smart in how they built it, and it's very isolated. Like you're going through, like in Disneyland in particular, you go through the Star Wars docking bay or whatever it is, and then when you go out, you can't see Magic Kingdom, you can't see anything else. All you see is what is in the park, which is awesome. But yeah, I think the biggest one that everyone would be excited for would be Savi's workshop. Now, the cool thing about Savi's, and this is their intention right now, it's not the case because it is so busy, but they don't have any signage for Savi's workshop. And Polygon, as much as I don't typically care for Polygon, they had an article that was titled something along the lines of doing the lightsaber experience is like doing a drug deal in Star Wars. And so I had to click on it, and they're not wrong. Like the way they want to show it off is like, it's not like, hey, this is where you come to make lightsabers. It's a secret place that you kind of have to like figure out where you're going. Like the only thing that you could possibly distinct that it's that is a blue banner that's got kind of like a Jedi temple symbol or something like that. Yeah, so that experience is $199. With that, you get to pick what kind of saber you want, and it's they have 4 different things that you can choose from. The first one is let me fact check myself real quick. Okay, there it goes. The first one is called Peace and Justice, and it's basically what you would want to design for like a Republic era Jedi lightsaber. So it's, there's a piece in particular that kind of looks like maces, but you basically pick 2 pieces for your main construction. Then you pick 1 pommel, 1 emitter, and then your activation switch. So there's also power and control, which is more Sith focused, definitely like dark elements, elemental nature, which is things like Cartesian whalebones, Rancor teeth, Brylark trees, like Ram Koda's saber from The Force Unleashed is kind of similar to this style. You have a lot of like just really cool like harnessed
I thought
earth
you were about to
forms.
say they actually had Ram Kota's lightsaber there, and I was like, that's a weird way to canonize him. But
No,
okay,
no, there
all
is
right.
parts on the elemental nature that look like his saber, like the emitter in particular kind of has a shape to it. And then the last one is protection and defense, which is more old Republic style. It's very like rustic looking in terms of that. Now, if I was to do this, I would either do elemental nature or protection and defense. Those are the two that I've visibly seen that are I'm very entertained by. So you do that, you pick it. They give you a special pin so the cast members can identify which one you picked so they can give you the right things. And basically you're in a 14-minute show pretty much. And guy goes on about how, the importance of everything, build your own lightsaber. The experience itself, from what I hear with what you get with the lightsaber, is worth the $200 from what I've seen a lot of people say.
Right, like it's not just getting the actual saber itself; it's the whole building it.
It's an experience, yeah.
Right.
And then you all ignite your lightsabers at the same time, like they have you put it in a chamber where the blade is. So it's really cool. And the thing about these that I'm and also with the legacy sabers is they seem to be better and better quality than like the Hasbro line sabers.
So you think that they're actually new, like castings? Like it's not like even if there was a Hasbro like a previous what were the old ones called? Not Force
Master
Effects.
Replicas.
No, I got mine over here. Keep talking while I grab my lightsaber.
They were FX lightsabers, and then they were Hasbro FX lightsabers. There was a line that was Force Effects. So you're
I
right.
have the Obi-Wan. Whatever the Obi-Wan one that had the sound defect, whatever line that was, because that's mine, because the sound doesn't like ever work on it.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't know if they're new molds, but in particular, these have when you ignite the lightsaber, they have the up and down effect. And the lights aren't in the blade themselves. So the technology in these seems to be better than what you'll get. But with the legacy sabers, they're not as, like, for example, the Obi-Wan from the Phantom Menace. If you look at like Park sabers or like Saber Forge, they're really skinny. They match it 1-for-1. This one is a little bit fatter, but the one that's really getting me is Luke's from Return of the Jedi. If you have the Hasbro Luke, it's got that fat neck. Whereas
same with my Obi-Wan one.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fat neck too.
The legacy one it looks actually what he had. But the thing that's getting me is the blades are battle ready blades, and the effects and the sounds, which is really cool. Not the legacy, but to build your own. You could buy separate kyber crystals. They only give you 4. You only get to pick 1 out of 4 in the experience, but you can buy your own. And each one of the colors has a different sound to it. Like it's actually kind of cool. It seems like this is more bang for your buck than going and buying a bunch of Hasbro FX lightsabers either way, which fascinates the hell out of me. So yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the legacy ones. Whose is Temple Guard lightsaber? Okay, so I don't recall that. Is that from Clone Wars, maybe?
I don't know. It seems very Old Republic, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem very like regal, like a guard in. I'm sure there's one maybe in like Revenge of the Sith when Anakin's like killing everyone. Maybe there's like a quick shot. You know what I mean? I gotta pay attention to that. So I like Mace Windu's, but did you ever find the similarity between the top the top half of Mace Windu's and Darth Sidious's? Like they look sort of familiar, right? Like they're kind of gold. They have that
kind of.
It kind of tapers off at the top,
Well, the thing that's
the
cool.
Grip on Mace Windu's is definitely like Luke's and Anakin's.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you see like the Obi-Wan, it's skinnier than the Force Effects one, but it's got a little bit of chunk to it.
I love Obi-Wan's Phantom Menace lightsaber.
I do too.
And I love Qui-Gon's. Do they have Qui-Gon's?
No, they unfortunately the ones that they have, they've got Darth Maul's, Kylo Ren's, Luke / Anakin / Rey's, which I hate that, but whatever.
Well, Rey's is now officially a little bit different.
Yeah, and officially now, yeah, that's true. Luke's from Return of the Jedi, Asajj Ventress's, as well as now Ahsoka. You can get Ahsoka's as well, and they come bundled together. So all of these other sabers, except for Kylo's, and Kylo's is 149, and Darth Maul's is 129. And
Right,
you can't,
because they're specialty ones. Like
yeah,
they're not.
you can also, if you buy two, it does come with an adapter, so you can put them together.
Yeah, and the Hasbro ones were like that too.
Yeah. So, but Ahsoka's is 199, but you're getting her
You get
basically
both of them?
Shoto. Yeah, you get both of them, the main one and then
Yeah.
like the Shoto one. So you
Yeah.
get that for $200. But yeah, all of the rest of them are 109. Now the only thing with those is that doesn't include a blade. The blades for the 26-inch is 45 or 43, and for the longer one, the 36-inch, I think it's like 48. It's like $50. So it's
So realistically, you're paying about $150, $160.
You're paying what
for a
you
Legacy
would
lightsaber.
for Force FX lightsaber, but I think these are better because they actually
It's
have
a little more pricey because I feel like the Hasbro ones were like 140, I think.
yeah.
But I mean, it does look like the build quality on these is way nicer. So
The effects is what's getting me because like the Hasbro ones do that too, but the lights are inside the blade. You can't hit them because they'll damage. These aren't. Now the thing
you can like tap them, but you can't really like actually
Right.
have a lightsaber fight with someone. Yeah.
The thing that is cool about Savi's though is the blades are universal. So you get a blade and a crystal from Savi's. If you want to use that blade, let's say you just bought a legacy saber without a blade, you can use that same blade.
So you could buy one now. So I'm sorry, I think you explained it, but just explain it to me again. The blades themselves have the lighting in them, or it's the crystal that determines the lighting?
In the legacy, you can't change out the crystal. The legacies, they're whatever color they are.
So what I'm saying is like, is the blade itself just like a white blade, and then it changes colors based on the hilt? Or so like, let's say I buy Mace Windu and I buy Obi-Wan. I buy one blade, put it on Mace Windu, it's going to be purple, and then I put it on Obi-Wan's, it's going to be blue.
Correct.
Okay. All right, that's kind of cool. So you only need one blade unless you want to display all of them at once.
And now with Savi's, you're right. If you whatever crystal you put in there will determine the color. But like I was saying, the thing that's really cool about it is they each have their own sound effect. Like each is completely different.
Yeah, that I do. That's kind of cool. So all right, so they're doing some cool stuff with lightsabers. Let's get into some of the other stuff. Now this page that you sent me with the lightsabers on it, that is, was it Sabi's? Sabi?
Which one? The one Savi's is the lightsaber building work experience.
Savi's. Okay, so you sent me another link, which is all merch in general. This is just spread out across Galaxy's Edge between the multiple.
The last one I sent you was a Polygon article talking about the food and drink.
Yeah, I'm on the Collider one.
Oh, the Collider one is just it's just
that's just the merch in general. Okay, all right. So let's start with this Collider article then, because there's some cool stuff on here. Hopefully, listeners are interested in toys and merch and action figures and all that stuff.
Otherwise, if you like Star Wars, you do.
Otherwise, sorry. Tune in for the next episode. We're going to be talking more about how we think the prequels are going to tie into the Rise of Skywalker. So stay tuned for that next week. If this isn't up your alley, but if you're into this type of stuff, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of all the merch you can get at Galaxy's Edge right now. So there's a lot of cool stuff, man. I'm kind of mad you sent me this link because I was totally fine just kind of being in the dark and like, I don't want to know because I can't afford any of it. And now it's like, God. So I'm just going to mention a couple of things that are really catching my eye. Is that they have Thrawn's rank badge?
Yep. In a display case.
Right. Like it's like stuff like this where it's like I didn't know I needed that. You know,
they really went all out. Like the thing with the creatures, the lizard monkey in particular. That thing is like $70, and it comes with a remote that you can like control as whatever. But it also comes with a magnet that you put under your shirt, so you can sit him on your shoulder.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they went out with all of this stuff.
Let's see. So there's a lot of cool. I keep like closing this page back. Oh, never mind. I opened them like okay, open word. There's a lot of cool stuff, man. I mean, the actual wearable stuff is pretty cool. I mean, the headdress that is this Padme's Naboo crest headdress. Like that's kind of not that I would wear it, but I mean, just in general, it looks cool. Not that there's anything wrong with anyone any
As
guy's
a
wearing.
guy, yeah,
And
yeah.
nothing wrong
Neither
with
of us
that.
are gonna wear it.
I'm
Neither of
just
us are
that's
gonna wear
not.
it.
I'm gonna buy other stuff before I buy that. Is all I'm saying. But that it looks cool. There was something specific that I think maybe scrolled past already.
There's like the necklace that Kiara's
Oh,
wearing.
so this is a deep cut that I don't even know if you made it far enough into. You definitely didn't make it far enough into Rebels because I know you only got like one episode into Rebels.
Are you talking about the mask?
No, so there is that too, but there is the Syndulla family Kalikori, which
So
is
I recognized
it's
it.
basically a totem that it plays a part in Star Wars Rebels, where Thrawn kind of puts two and two together on who Hera is, based on like the fact that she cares so much about this totem, and Thrawn kind of puts it together that like she's the daughter of Cham Syndulla from the Clone Wars. So that's really cool, and it looks really detailed. It looks big too, which I mean, $130, but that's really like it's cool that they're acknowledging other parts of the Star Wars universe than just the movies. So the fact that they made like a full size Kalikori is pretty cool. I really like the stained glass Padme. Like
the art pieces
so cool.
in particular are really cool. The one thing that I really liked was the Maz Kanata statue. It's like $130, but it looks like the what was on top of like her fountain, like right when you came in on The Force Awakens, and it looks cool. And also these just like detailed art pieces, like there's some that's like the carvings outside of the Jedi Temple that are really cool. Do you see this Imperial officer rank badge?
I don't think
It's
so.
under the Imperial comlink. That's a Bluetooth communicator. That's so cool.
That's on the Collider page.
No, it's on the
this bust of General Grievous's head is awesome. That's next to the Maz Kanata statue you were talking about.
Yeah, it's
which that does look cool. Like I said, it looks like the statue on top of her cantina. So, but this Grievous one, it looks like it's made out of maybe. I mean, I don't know if it's actually made of marble, but it looks like it's supposed to emulate the look of like being marble or something. It looks really cool.
Well, it's like Kylo Ren's helmet. The thing is $750, so it's got to be made out of something.
Well, yeah, that's probably like to scale. The TIE Fighter helmet's pretty cool, $450. Jeez. What really caught my eye is this Vader's castle.
Yes,
kind of sculpture. Which, like, are we not calling it like? Is it not called Castle Bast? Like, they're just leaving that in the EU.
I really don't know.
I don't know, but it looks pretty freaking cool, man. Looks like the lava.
It lights
up inside it, so it's like literally built on top of a volcano. It just looks really cool. Like that. Like I would buy that. Like that looks pretty rad. And that's $200, which is not bad. Another thing that's kind of unique. I'm not sure if it's ever been in anything. I don't recognize it, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been in anything. The Sith Chalice.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I've seen it in like some sort of material.
Was it in like Attack of the Clones when Dooku goes to meet up with Sidious or something, or
possibly like this looks like stuff that's been in like Palpatine's office. Like I've seen something like this before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was in his actual Senate office, but I don't know. Right. I got to pay attention when I go through, or maybe it was even in maybe like one of Kylo's rooms, or maybe something to do with Snoke. I mean, it could be a newer thing too. Although it does look very prequel-y. Like the design looks very, very, it's like got some rounded edges, and it looks very prequel.
How do you feel about that Thrawn art piece right above the Imperial helmet, the TIE Fighter helmet?
Oh, Thrawn! I thought you meant Snoke. Thrawn above the helmet. I think I'm scrolling down instead of up.
It's right under his badge and plaque.
Got it. Oh yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I would pay $400 for it. Yeah, see, that's the scene where he has Hera's Kalikori. So that's a scene like ripped directly from Rebels because he has the helmet too. Because that's one of the helmets that so that's like getting into spoiler territory. So the helmet kind of plays into something too. So I don't know, man. It's all pretty cool stuff.
You also have the Sith and Jedi holocrons that.
See, those I really want to get a holocron, specifically a Sith one.
The other thing about the kyber crystals is there's 2 cuts of each. They're different shape, but each one is supposed, even if they're the same color, they're supposed to have different traits. So like it's supposed to have different like voice, like audio cues. Like the white one for sure. I think both of the white ones are Sharut, because I watched someone playing around with it and you could hear him from Rogue One. So like you put the crystal in the holocron, either the Sith or the Jedi one, and you press 2 buttons. You press something on both sides. It's kind of hard to tell which is which, and like it'll play like these like audio cues sounding like someone speaking to you, which is really cool. And they're like $50 a piece. The holocrons.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I really like the Sith ones. I just like the design of the Sith ones. Now, there was something I didn't like that someone online had posted about him, and it says Star Wars on it, and
On
it's
the
like
crystal or on the holocron?
on the holocrons, and stuff like that drives me crazy because it's like I want it to look like it's actually from Star Wars, and when it says Star Wars on it, then it doesn't look like it's actually from in universe. You know,
If it says Star Wars,
it looks like a toy instead of actually being like a
Yeah.
hologram. I know it sounds stupid, but I mean that's
well, no, you're right.
that's the
If
level
it
of
is,
fan I am. You know what I mean?
if it is, it might be on the bottom because I've seen like people like rotating it around. I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah, maybe it was the way the person was holding it. But I don't know. I just like stuff like that bothers me. Like when people have like a shirt and it's like just in general, like t-shirts, for example. Like I like when the front of the shirt is something you need to like it's like a inside, not like a joke, but like an inside kind of you need to know what that means. And then on the back it says the name of what it is. And it's like, no, don't label it what it is, because then people like the cool thing about it is that people like you share that knowledge with people that know what it is without it saying the brand of it. You know what I mean? So
right.
I don't know. I mean, that like I said, that's nitpicky. So, and that makes me sound kind of curmudgeonly, but that's just the level of fan I am. You know, what I really like these. Looks like these gold busts. They have Yoda.
Mm-hmm. They have Sith busts too.
Yeah, they have Yoda. Yeah, those ones I don't. Where so they have okay, so for the Jedi ones they have Yoda, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, and what looks like Saesee Tin. I'm pretty sure that's Saesee Tin.
Yeah, and then they have Luke from I think The Last Jedi.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely Luke from Last Jedi. And then where are the Sith ones? I was looking at them before. Sorry if you can hear my mouse scrolling in the background. The Dooku one looks a little funny, like it looks a little weird, but the Maul one looks dope. And the Vader one looks good too. Sidious looks a little weird too. He kind of looks like a little bit like a frog. But the Darth Maul one, that's legit. Like that one's really cool looking.
You can also buy his cane too, Sidious's cane, which is cool.
Oh yeah. I also like these cups that are under.
Yeah, the chalices
that are under the artwork for Darth Vader.
So really the last thing as far as merchandising that you can do as far as like big experience would be the droid depot, which you can build an R unit or a BB unit. It's going to cost you $100 for the full interactive droid. Now the only thing that doesn't include is they also sell personality chips, this is kind of cool. I think there's multiple different versions, but you've got some that are for the Resistance, some that are for the First Order, like some that are for like smugglers, and others for like the Jedi and things like that. But you put them in there and these little chips, and they'll like talk to you and interact with you. Now, one thing I did hear people say is if you're going in there to just do one, it's not really worth it. So if you're going to do it, it's worth building 2 droids, because when you bring those home, because they're Bluetooth and because whatever personality chips, they will interact with each other. I mean, it's still cool to have a droid that will like talk and stuff like that, and you can RC it around and things like that. But a lot of people were saying it's worth it to just go ahead and build 2. That way they can interact with each other.
So basically bring a real lot of money to Galaxy's Edge. Now, before we get into the to Oga's Cantina and start talking about the prices for drinks, why don't we go over your Galaxy's Edge merch wish list, and then we can total that all up, because that's a lot of money.
So From my overview of everything that I saw, and granted, there's stuff I probably didn't see, but this is stuff that I personally would want to purchase from Galaxy's Edge. So, as far as Savis go, I'm trying. If we go, me and my wife before we got married, we wanted to buy lightsabers together, like actual, like really good ones, as like a wedding present to ourselves. I maybe can see if I can talk her into doing the experience, since they're going to be a little bit cheaper. And anyway, so let's just say I'm doing this myself. Savis, I would either do the elemental nature or the protection and defense, and that's going to be $199.99 for that. I want to get a Jedi holocron. And then I personally want to get all the crystals, just because the fact of like throwing that in there in Savis and getting the different sound effects, I think is cool. I want to get a pair of chance cubes, like Watto had in The Force Awakens. The Imperial ID card is kind of cool. It like lights up and stuff like that. It's $20. And then out of the legacy sabers, I personally would want to get Obi-Wan's from The Phantom Menace and Luke's from Return of the Jedi. And then the last thing I have is I want to build an R2 unit, and then plus whatever personality chip I get. So let's see. Jedi Holocron's $49.99. All the crystals. So you get one in Savi's experience. So there's 6 in total. Now there is also a black one, but that's a rare chance to get. That's a rare chance to get. Also, that doesn't give you a dark saber. It doesn't give you a black blade. The only real benefit of it is if you put it in a Sith holocron, Snoke speaks. But like if you put it in a lightsaber, it's a red blade.
Would have been cool if it was Palpatine, but sure.
Yeah.
Gotta tie it into the sequel trilogy, I guess.
I want to get all the crystals. They're $12.99 each. Chance cubes are $9.99. Imperial ID card is $20, and then both of the legacy sabers. Oh, this is actually wrong. This total is wrong because I didn't factor in blades. Oh boy. So I would want to get Obi-Wan's and Luke's from Return of the Jedi, and then the droid is $100 plus $12.99 for a personality chip. So if we add all that up, this is just for merchandise. This isn't for food, drink, tickets to the place. If I did all this in one sitting, I would be spending $773 plus tax.
That is a lot of money.
That is a lot.
Now, that's not including the amount of money it takes to get into the park, to fly to the park, get a hotel.
That's like just for merchandise.
That's just the stuff you're walking out with. And you got to carry all the stuff, by the way, too.
Yeah, I advise driving. If you want to get a lot of stuff, drive.
You still got to carry that from there to the parking lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you got to fly back with it. How are you flying back with that? I don't know. That's crazy. Unless you're driving.
Big suitcases. That's what I was saying. I would advise driving.
Like driving, like... I got you. I thought I was thinking like instead of a shuttle to the park, but you mean like literally from your house
driving,
to there. Yeah, I got you. Makes more sense. Yeah, that's a lot of freaking money, man. All right, let's wrap up the show with Oga's Cantina, which this is for the adults listening. We're gonna be talking about some alcoholic type of beverages, which if you're willing to spend a lot of money, you might as well spend $75 on a flight of beer. So essentially, what looks like for this is it looks like where was it? Center of it is a Rancor beer flight souvenir board with 4 teeth. Now the teeth are the actual glasses, so they're glasses shaped like giant Rancor teeth, which I thought is really cool. Actually, there's not an actual picture of it. There's like a picture of a picture on like it's on the menu, so we can't actually see what it really looks like. Hopefully that'll start popping up online soon. But the illustration looks kind of cool. When you first told me it's $75 for a flight of beer, I'm like, what? Like I was thinking like a normal looking glass. Maybe it says Star Wars on the side and like a normal wooden flight. Which don't get me wrong, I still don't know if I would spend $75 on it. But it does look really cool. It's cool that at least it is unique for that price. Some other cool stuff. There are the glasses, are very Star Warsy. There's a lot of it looks like they remind me of kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like tubing, I guess. Like the way, like I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of like they look like astronaut glasses.
Yeah.
If that it kind of makes any sense. But those look kind of cool. But what I really like is there's a porg shaped like tiki mug. I can't. What is this little Oga's Obsession? So what is this? It's
Lemonade,
cotton candy flavored blue bar.
popping pearls.
So what? So is it like rock candy or something? Or not
No,
rock candy?
it's like Dippin' Dots.
Oh, Dippin' Dots. I was thinking like Pop Rocks.
No, like it looks like Dippin' Dots, and it's got like dried fruit mixture with it. So that's like a snack or something like that. Now there is something on here called Yub Nub. Like the names of these are really like.
Yeah,
I
there's
appreciate these.
Carbon Freeze, Blue Bantha, Hyperdrive, Punch It. That one's kind of Jet Juice. Bespin Fizz. I think that's a good one. Bespin Fizz sounds like a good drink. Jedi Mind Trick, of course.
And you also can't forget about Blue Milk.
They have blue milk, spiked blue milk.
I don't know if they have spiked, but as far as non-alcoholic, they have blue and green
milk.
is
non-alcoholic. Okay, so
yeah.
Yeah. So the Yub Nub is in like kind of like a tiki mug, which looks pretty cool. I can't zoom in, so I can't really read the text on the menu, but it looks like if you go to like a Japanese restaurant and you order like a zombie or something like that, and you get it in like this really cool looking kind of wooden mug. It looks similar to that. I'm assuming in real life, because again, it's an illustration. It would probably look, it probably has probably like some tree and
the only thing I
work on it, kind of reminiscent of
it looks Endorian, yeah. I see pineapple rum is the only thing I can read on there.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Now, what is cool about that, about the blue and green, I heard the blue milk is a lot better than the green milk, but it's more like a melted popsicle than it is like a dairy drink. Like it's a combination of like some sort of fruit.
I was assuming it wasn't actual milk. I'm assuming it was just called that because
but the consistency is getting a lot of people because they think, oh, they're just going to drink something, and it's more like a melted like soft serve or popsicle or something like that. So
interesting. So almost like a slushie.
Yeah, almost like the consistency,
but not frozen though.
All the videos I've seen, people were like, oh, like the texture was like very slimy, and then they drank more and they're like, oh, this is really refreshing.
Like they just didn't know what it was at first, and then once they were like, okay, this is what it is, and they're on to. So if you're looking to spend a whole lot of money, check out Oga's Cantina, where you can get a bunch of alcoholic and non-alcoholic concoctions, is what they're calling them. I really want to see what the Rancor beer flight looks like in real life. So
the food in particular looks delicious as well. But the one thing that's catching my eye is this. I'm going to say Katsaka. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Kaksaki?
No, it's
like
KATSKA. SAKA.
Where is this?
It's. I don't think it's the Polygon article.
I don't think
it's a kettle. It's a kettle mixture.
I thought you were saying like the disease cocksucker.
No,
not disease. It's like a virus or whatever it is.
No, this is a kettle mixture, and apparently the one I've seen people getting is a chili lime. Like I think this kettle mix is chili lime blueberry.
That's Cat Saka's kettle. Okay, so it's like popcorn. Okay,
yeah. But it's like chili lime blueberry, and it looks, and everyone says it's delicious.
Yeah, these smoked Kadu ribs look real good.
Oh yeah,
that looks real good with what was that, like pickled onions or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the food looks good. Everything looks really good. It just looks really expensive, you know.
Yeah, man, it's one
that's the problem. Like, it's not that I don't want to go; it's that I don't think I have the money. Oh, so you can actually see that the carbon freeze. Or no, not the carbon freeze is a drink. So what's the little snack thing? You can actually see that on the Polygon article.
Oga's Obsession.
Oga's Obsession. Yeah, so it's a lemonade cotton candy flavor, blueberry popping pearls with a bursting dried fruit mixture. So you can actually see what that looks like in this picture. It looks kind of weird. Do you like eat it with a spoon? I was thinking it was like you actually like just like grab it like Chex Mix or something. But
yeah,
the carbon freeze, it looks kind of like bubble tea.
Yeah, it does. It does kind of.
Ooh, the Ronto roasters look good too.
Yeah, dude,
everything looks so good. It's not that I don't want to go, you know. It's just like
Well, also, it's one of those things like I would advise if you're listening to this and you're thinking about going, I honestly would wait because that's been the consensus I've heard from a lot of people of saying it's a magical experience, but because it is so busy right now, that immersion goes away a lot because you're just dealing in like one of the guys that I watched who did the Saber experience from like getting in line to walking out was a total of 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
he didn't stand in line for 2 hours, but it was one of those that you had to wait. But yeah, I would honestly wait until, of course, this is probably never going to die down. It's probably going to be busy for an entire year.
Right, but it's not going to be like this, though.
It's not going to be like this. Yeah.
The lines for Smuggler's Run will probably always be crazy, but hopefully it doesn't stay like this. So
yeah,
and hopefully everyone just go to California. Just go to California. Let me go to Florida. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the solution. So that's going to do it for this week. I hope you enjoyed our kind of coverage of the merch and food and beverage for Galaxy's Edge. You can, if you're not actually able to go, you can kind of be there in spirit with us.
And if you are going, please send us pictures.
There, I guess. Yeah, send us pictures. If you're going, let us know the stuff you got. If you got if you built a lightsaber, let us see what that looks like. If you go to Oga's Cantina and you get or see someone else get this Rancor flight, please send me a picture of it. I really want to know what it looks like. But yes, that's going to do it. Stay tuned for next week. Like I said, we're going to talk about how we think the prequels may tie into the Rise of Skywalker episode 9. So yeah, we'll catch you all next week.